Okay, today is August the 3rd, 2023. This is Coffee County, Tennessee's Capital Outlay Committee. We have 4 members present, 1 absent. Means we have a quorum, so I'm going to call this meeting to order. And we need a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
I'll second it.
Commissioner Tim Brown makes a motion to approve. Commissioner Jimmy Hollingsworth seconded. All those, is there any discussion, amendments, or changes to the agenda? All those in favor by aye?
Aye.
Public comments. Is anybody in our audience need to speak to this committee? If not, we're moving right along. We need a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve it. Second.
Okay, motion made by Commissioner Tim Brown, seconded by Commissioner Frank Watkins. Any discussion on the minutes, amendments to? Being none, all those in favor by aye?
Aye.
Unfinished business, updates to the ongoing projects. There's not a whole lot to say about ongoing projects. I guess everybody's seen the work that's being done out front, where this committee did address the pedestrian ingress egress, and our sheriff's department has took it upon itself, since they have the ability to do this kind of work with the surplus construction equipment that's made available to local governments nationwide. Our sheriff is using some of those what we would call free gifts to the citizens of Coffee County to do the project that we had a pretty sizable estimation by a contractor, so we could do it in-house, so the sheriff took care of it. Do you, Frank Watkins is with the Sheriff's Department, do you want to make any comment on this project as it's going?
No, I think it's gone pretty good. Rick has helped out, our maintenance director, with it. It's, like you said, saved a lot of money. I can't remember the quote we had at.
So the original, well, we had 3 quotes, but the original lowest quote was around $25,000. At that time, it had a different kind of layout where it was actually going to be 2 sidewalks per island, so it's kind of like an unfair.
Sure.
But it probably saved us, I would say, at least $20,000 doing it ourselves. By the time we're done, we'll probably have maybe at the most 2,000 in it,
Right.
all said and done. And I would say with the setup it probably would have cost at least between 20 to 25 still, everything said and done.
It's been one of my pet peeves ever since I became a commissioner, because I've actually seen elderly people with a walker going across that mountain because it was a straight line to their vehicle, but it's dangerous. And I actually saw a lady using the sidewalk just this afternoon, straight line into the foyer. It's a great thing. And it's worth noting that we're nowhere near done.
No.
You know, all the fresh dirt you see at this point in time will become flower beds with wildflowers that'll probably be maintained by someone other than county employees, we hope. You know, we have gardeners, master gardeners, and UT extension agents. So I think it'll be a real pretty presentation for people walking up or driving up, either one. Anybody got any more comments on that?
Yeah, I got a comment.
Go ahead.
We talked about putting parking spaces there on each side of the sidewalk, so is that out now?
It was cost prohibitive. I mean, I looked up the minutes in that meeting. Rick had estimations in excess of $50,000, and we have, to my knowledge, we have more than the required amount of handicap parking.
Yeah.
And it is, those handicap parking spaces are the ones that dominate all the front row of parking. So at this time, with a budget that we just passed, I don't see us approving an expenditure like that.
I think one thing too was for us to look when we were doing this project to see if there was indeed asphalt under there. And then when we got into it, it's not.
Yeah, I
It's-
looked today too.
Yeah, it's not,
under.
yeah, there's no asphalt. When he
Yeah.
dug in to get into to be able to do the sidewalk and get down to the required depth to make it level, there's obviously no asphalt
Yeah,
under
I
there.
seen
It was,
that.
yeah, it was done, and there's true islands out there, so.
Anybody else, any more comments on that? All right, I guess the most important one, and definitely the most frustrating project right now is the new health department construction. I'm not gonna dwell on it. I think we've addressed this in several meetings, the full legislative body meetings as well. The ARP funds is generated at the federal level, transferred to the state, transferred to us. Those were funds that were gonna be used. We followed all the rules in selecting an architectural firm at that time. They've changed the rules, and we're having to drop back and punt. We're having to start all over from scratch on a architectural firm selection process. So hopefully that's going to get underway real quick. We've lost a lot of good summer weather where we probably could have been close to breaking ground right now, I think. And so that is going to move forward post haste, at least as fast as the federal government and those that are in charge of the rulemaking will allow. So that's all I can say regarding that.
Do we have an idea, Dennis, when we're gonna get the
Okay,
actual rules?
well, we pretty much know the rules
Okay.
now. They're in hand.
Okay.
And Stephanie in our purchasing department is working on it real diligently. She's having to prepare RFQs, requests for quotes. And I think the process, unless there's something that I don't know about, I'm pretty sure we will probably send out these RFQs to all the entities that we invited to make presentations initially. That's how we did it. We really thought we could obtain an architect as professional services, which did not really require the bid process. We only wanted qualifications but anyway, that's changed. We're gonna get there. It's just gonna take a little bit longer. And anybody got any questions on that maybe we can answer?
I got a comment.
Say it.
The ones that never showed back up to finish their talk or bid with us, should we invite them again or just leave them out? Because it's obvious they wasn't interested.
I don't know how to address that other than we will address it as a body when the time comes. Because it will come back to us. And I think in all fairness, I would like to deal with the people that did respond, but I don't
I
know
would
if
too.
that would be breaking the rules, so we gotta abide by the rules. We gotta be consistent in that. Anyway, would you, on our next item, I sort of wish, Rick, go ahead. I sort of wish we'd have bumped this presentation on Veterans Hall up, but go ahead, tell us what happened in the last 30 days since we met, please.
So obviously,
Rick Susi is our maintenance director for all county-owned facilities.
we already talked about the sidewalk, and it's just a rough end situation right now. We are planning on having it tilled up and leveled out, and then I think the garden club is going to be taken over from there. We'll be installing probably some lighting over above it to shine some light on it. Then we have UT Extension Office about a month ago, 2 months ago. They came in and had a wish list of some things with the painting of their conference room, their lobby, installing a TV in their conference room, new countertop in their entrance area, and a new glass door. We did. We finished all those that wish list item up. So she did say that she was wanting to get some new flooring done, but she said she'd come back to that in a later date because they didn't have any more money left. So the next thing is we do have the election commission heating air unit has went down, and we cannot get parts for it, and it's about 17 years old, so we will have to replace it. The cost of that's going to be $24,000. It's a 10-ton unit that runs the whole election commission area, the bathrooms on the back side, and the hallway area leading around the election commission. I do have.
Right quick, I wanted to ask a question about that. So that unit was not upgraded nor replaced during the train
No, it
transition?
It was one of the ones that was left off. So some of the units that were left off were newer units within 5 years old, 5 to 10 years old. Of course, the process took 2 or 3 years from the time that they started and looked at every single unit. It took 2 years before we even accepted what was going on. And of course, they've started probably the construction of all that 2 years ago, 2 years. So it's been like 4 or 5 years now. So even though it's 16 years old, I'm not sure. I wasn't in the cutting out of what unit and this unit, how each unit was chose to stay or not stay, but it was one that stayed. So, but now we can't get any parts for it.
Okay.
I do have the estimates.
I didn't mean to interrupt. I
No,
was
you're fine.
curious.
If you guys want, take one and pass that around. And of course, we do have our service contract through Shelton's Heating and Air, and they'll be the ones that would be doing the work. And this is something that I had kind of in my budget anyways, because I've already seen this coming around the corner.
Okay.
Because it actually went down last winter, and we tried for months and months and months to get the parts needed to fix it, which was going to be about $7,000. But after 8 months of them telling us that it was coming, they finally said they had no date to come, so we can't go another winter without them having any heat. So
Is this the only quote or anything we have?
yeah, because we have a service contract through Shelton Seating.
Oh,
Here. They're the ones that we use for this. Yeah.
This is completed.
Oh,
No, it's not completed.
It isn't?
No, it's not. It is not completed.
Well, what
That's-
unit was being replaced about 2 weeks ago out back?
That was the one from months ago that we ordered for the industrial board.
Oh,
That one was on order for probably, I don't know, 6 months maybe. Units, a lot of these units have been due to COVID or whatever, or
Okay.
months and months and months on order.
How many units do we have that wasn't on the train deal left?
I would have to look that up. I think it's about 12 now. 12, it's like 10 to 13. Because we just replaced one over the industrial board, and then this would be another one that we would have. I think we would still have about 10 or 11 remaining on this building that are not on the train package, as far as when they replaced them. Now, they're all on train controls and everything, but they weren't replaced.
okay, Rick, now that I'm up to speed,
Sorry.
did you say this $23,775 for a new unit you can handle it within
Correct.
your budget?
Correct. We're not
So
asking.
we don't need to send anything to budget and finance?
No,
Okay,
sir.
great.
No, sir. The next thing is codes. They are asking for new flooring in two of their business offices due to high traffic between contractors and stuff. And Their carpet is it's been about 15 to 17 years old. I was actually here when it was installed. We actually built the offices, and we had just a real cheap, commercial carpet laid in there. But it's been about 15 years since it's been in there, and it's got some stains and some bad spots and some tears. And they're asking for the money to replace the carpet with the flooring that's existing out here in the hallways, the new LVT vinyl flooring to match the hallway.
Okay, I'm gonna say, I would entertain a motion to have Rick get floor quotes, or you
I have
already
it.
have?
I have
All right,
it.
so we're ready to move on that, sorry.
And they are asking it to be the same as the hallway, so we have the original floor company that installed the flooring in the hallway to match.
Is this the only quote you got?
Yes, because they're the only company that can install what's originally
All
already
right,
here.
is this something you can handle in your budget?
They're asking to take this to budget and finance. Because they just asked this. They just asked me for this.
Okay, now, I will entertain a motion to approve this to be sent to Budget and Finance. This quote is for $6,131.26, but is that a laminate or more like a linoleum?
No, it's like what's in the hallway. It's like a LVT. It's a luxury vinyl tile.
Okay,
I don't see on here, where's the square footage of this house?
It should be.
Is that the 876.12 square foot?
yeah,
Yep, 876.
second line item.
Correct. And this doesn't cover their whole entire. They have multiple offices. This is just the two offices where they have contractors and the public actually comes in. They're trying to like spruce up the area for the public when they come in.
And this is for,
Codes.
yeah. And this needs to go to Budget and Finance. I'll make a motion that Rick present this to Budget and Finance for approval.
We send it to
Okay.
Budget and Finance.
Well, I'll make a motion that we approve it and send it to Budget and Finance for their approval. For the $6,131.26.
These bids are expensive.
Yes, they are.
My chainsaw's getting high.
Yeah.
Need a second.
I'll second it.
All right, motion to send this to Budget and Finance, the proposal to refloor our codes and zoning enforcement offices. Motion made by Commissioner Frank Watkins, seconded by Commissioner Tim Brown. Those in favor by aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. We will fill out a referral to committee from this one to Budget and Finance for that. What else have you got?
Last thing I have is I was asked to get quotes on the doors for the solid waste convenience center or business office. The doors that are in there, the company that makes them no longer is in business. So I had to get the doors had to be custom made. The Builder Supply in Manchester is the only place that I could find that would do that. The total cost would be $2,030. They have one door that has a custom light window in it, and so it by itself was $1,270, and the other door is just a solid frame door, and it would be $760. The good news is none of the frames are damaged, so it would just be the doors. So this is something that I could do in house.
And where is this again?
This is solid waste.
Oh,
At the solid
oh,
waste,
yes.
the
Two
doors
doors
the
that
two
were-
metal
That was gonna
doors that
be
were
my-
rusted.
Yes.
Yeah,
Is that something you're gonna do?
Yes.
In your budget?
correct.
Okay.
And we'll just everything will be handled
In-house.
in house. The installing, painting. That's it. That's all I have. Anybody has any questions about anything?
Turn the TV on for me, please. All right, the next item is, I'm gonna put a couple pictures up here if I'm technically capable of doing this. Give me just a second. We're talking about this Veterans Hall. There's, there's, evidently there's, this will be the logo that people see on the wall. The mayor's been working on this, and we have the idea is to put photographs of all the veterans who have lived, and served our nation on the walls and the halls of Coffee County's Administrative Plaza. This is the logo that the mayor, I think Mayor and Sam's been working on it, and maybe one of the veterans groups as well. And just to give you an idea, this is sort of what it will look like when we're done. Now that's just a stock photo that we found online, and it will be, that one is actually, I think, in Houston, Texas. But this is sort of the idea we've got. All the hallways will be lined. There'll be a process. We're just starting on this, so I don't think there's any need to, for us to make any decisions at capital outlay yet. But we need to get everybody's idea on it. There'll be like an application process, or where you'll bring your family's photos, and they'll get posted. You know, if you're a Coffee County resident and you served in the armed forces in any degree, you're gonna be eligible to be, your photo to be on this wall. None of the details are worked out, but I think it's a great idea. I think it is a great idea.
Yeah, Canton County does this. I noticed that over there at their courthouse.
Okay.
It's pretty neat.
And I think the mayor said Warren County is going to do this maybe. I don't know, but pretty neat idea. So anyway, thought we would show you guys that, because I'm sure we'll be figuring out how it's going to happen because we're attaching to the building. We'll be figuring out how it's going to happen and the process to get the pictures there. And I'm wondering if it's only going to be for those veterans that have expired, who are no longer with us, or if they're retired and still living. You know, I think those decisions have to be made, I'm sure. So is there anybody want to weigh in on this? Got any comment?
No, I think it's a good idea to honor them in that way, either way, whether they're passed on or still with us, whatever the decision is. That's
Right.
probably a good idea.
So, having said that, does anyone in the audience wish to comment on this? If not, we need to announce, most of our committee meetings decide when their next meeting is. Capital Outlay is one of the easier ones. We meet the first Thursday of every month, unless there's reasonable cause to cancel the meeting. So that's our next meeting, would be the first Thursday of September.
Yes.
So it'll be on the county's calendar. If anybody doesn't have anything else, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to
Second.
adjourn made by Commissioner Jimmy Hollingsworth, and seconded by Commissioner Frank Watkins. All those in favor by aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.